It was a rainy Monday morning when she arrived. Her name was Adaora, a quiet, light-skinned girl with sad eyes and a small scar on her neck. She had transferred to St. Luke's Secondary School, a boarding school in eastern Nigeria. Nobody knew much about her, only that she came from a village far away and her parents were dead. From the moment she entered the class, the boys started whispering, "She's fine, Shah. I heard she doesn't talk. She looks like she has secrets." But one person didn't whisper. Nonso, tall, brilliant, and the head boy. He sat at the back, always serious. He didn't like gossip, he didn't like noise. But something about Adaora made him turn his head. Maybe it was her silence. Maybe it was the way she stared at the old mango tree behind the classroom, like it was calling her. Weeks passed. Nonso and Adaora became close. He helped her with mathematics. She helped him with literature. They laughed. They walked together. Slowly, love grew. The kind of love you don't shout about. The quiet kind. The deep kind. But strange things started happening. One morning, a student named Namdi was found lying under the mango tree, unconscious. His mouth was foaming, his eyes wide open, like he saw something terrible. The school said it was epilepsy, but Namdi didn't have epilepsy. He had never even been sick before. 2 weeks later, another girl, Chinyere, fainted during night prep. When she woke up, she screamed, "The girl under the tree! She's not real. Her eyes are burning." Everyone was confused. "What girl?" they asked, but she didn't answer. That night, Nonso found Adaora crying behind the hostel. He held her. "What's wrong?" She looked up slowly. "I didn't want to come back here." "What do you mean?" Adaora looked at him and whispered, "I was born in this school, under that tree, but nobody told me the truth, until it started happening again." Nonso pulled back, shocked. "What started happening again?" She touched the scar on her neck. "I died once." He laughed. "Stop joking." She didn't smile. "I'm not joking." That night, Nonso couldn't sleep. He went to the school library, searched old newspapers, and there, in an old file, was a photo of a girl, about 6 years old, lying under a mango tree. Blood on her dress, a cut on her neck. Headline: "Ritual killing at St. Luke's. School denies knowledge." The year: 2009. The girl: Adaora. But how? She would have been dead. Yet, she was here, breathing, crying, falling in love. Nonso closed the file with shaking hands. And that moment, the school bell rang. But it wasn't time for morning bell. It was 2:14 a.m. And outside, the mango tree was glowing. Nonso stood still, holding the newspaper file close to his chest. He couldn't move. The school bell kept ringing, slowly, painfully, like it was being pulled by something not human. He ran to the dormitory, but before he reached the door, he saw someone. Adaora. She was standing under the glowing mango tree, barefoot. Her white nightgown flowed in the wind, but her feet didn't move. She wasn't breathing. Emika's voice broke. "Adaora!" She turned slowly. Tears were on her face. "I told you not to read it," she said quietly. "Now, you know." He walked closer. What happened to you?" She looked at the tree. "They killed me here." "Who?" She looked at him. "Your school. Your people." Then she touched her scar again. "In 2009, I was brought here as a baby by a woman. They said she was my auntie, but she sold me to a man. A powerful man. He gave money to the school. They needed blood for their protection. That's why the mango tree always grows, even in dry season." Nonso's body went cold. "But how are you alive?" Adaora's voice shook. The day they tried to kill me, the man cut my neck, but the tree rejected the sacrifice. Lightning struck. I went into coma for 8 years. Nonso gasped. I woke up in a hospital. The matron who raised me said God brought me back. But since I came back to this school, I feel strange, like part of me is still buried here. She knelt and placed her hand on the soil. Then the ground moved. A hand came out of the earth, a real human hand. Nonso fell back, shaking. Then, silence. The hand was gone. Adaora stood up, crying. I need to leave this place. Amika held her. We'll leave together, after exams. But that evening, the principal called an emergency assembly. He said, someone has been spreading evil rumors about the school. Whoever it is, come forward. Nobody moved. Then he added, if we catch the person, they'll be expelled. Nonso looked at Adaora. She looked away. That night, the mango tree caught fire, but no one set it. Students ran out in panic. Firefighters came, but nothing could stop the flames. In the ashes, the police found something: bones, small bones, and a necklace. It was the same necklace Adaora wore in the old newspaper photo. The principal tried to explain it away. It's an old burial ground, he said. But Nonso knew better. He had heard Adaora crying in the hostel that night. Not normal crying, the kind that sounds like thunder underwater. By morning, she was gone. Her box, her shoes, her books, all gone. No one saw her leave. Nonso asked every teacher, every student. Nothing. She had vanished. But one thing remained. On the blackboard in CES 3A class, written in white chalk, I'm not a ghost. I just want justice for every child that was buried and forgotten. And below that was a name: Chijioke Dike, school principal since 2008. After Adaora vanished, the school changed. Students walked in fear. Teachers whispered. The mango tree was gone, but its shadow still lived in people's minds. But Nonso wasn't silent. He couldn't forget her. The way she cried, the scar on her neck, the way she said, I died once. So he began to dig, not just in the ground, but into the school's past. He wrote letters, went to the local newspaper office, talked to old staff who had left long ago. And what he found? Darkness. Records showed that between 2008 and 2010, 6 students went missing at St. Luke's. All of them orphans. All of them quiet cases. The files were signed by Principal Chijioke Dike. Emeka printed everything. He gave it to the police. But days passed. No arrest, no news. Then one night, a knock on his hostel window. He opened it and saw Chijioke, the principal, standing outside, smiling, holding a black file. My boy, he said softly, you're smart, but some things are bigger than you. He dropped the file on Nonso's bed and walked away. Inside the file were photos, old photos, children crying, bodies in shallow graves. One of the pictures, Adaora, blood on her dress, a fresh cut. Her eyes, open but lifeless. Nonso wept. He didn't sleep that night. In the morning, he went to the school chapel. He knelt, and for the first time in his life, he prayed not for exams or success. He prayed for justice. That evening, the school matron collapsed in the kitchen. Before she died, her last words were, "The girl is back, and she's not alone." People didn't understand. Until it began. Students started hearing voices in the night, whispers in the bathroom, blood dripping from taps. Some saw shadows moving behind the blackboard. And one by one, those who were involved in the crimes, the bursar, the night guard, the old housemaster, died. Heart attacks, accidents, fire. But Chijioke, he didn't die. He went mad. During the Founders' Day assembly, He walked up to the podium and started shouting, "They're here, the children, the ones we buried." He tore off his clothes, dropped to his knees, and screamed until he fainted. They took him away. He was never seen again. The school closed for 6 months. Nonso graduated quietly, but he never forgot. Years later, a new school was built on the same land. A girl stood outside the gate on the first day of resumption. She looked like Adaora, same eyes, same scar. When they asked her name, she smiled and said, "Call me Nkem." It means, "What is mine can never be taken." She walked in, and the ground did not shake, because now justice had spoken. The children were free. But in the library of the new school, there is still a file, a single file. And on the cover, it says, "The girl under the tree," and no one is allowed to touch it, ever.